Alice Cooper, master of the macabre, the nightmare of madness, maniacal magician, selling illusions of fallen gods while entangling your children within his wicked web of bloody lies and vampires. Hollywood, the land of lost souls and angels, and for the right price, those angels can make all your dreams come true. Can you hear them? The children of the night. Oh, what sweet music they make. And somewhere in the shadows, Osiris is whispering your name. What are Hollywood vampires? Better yet, who? Let's take a look at how Alice Cooper passes off the occult practice of angel worship as Christianity. This time around in a vain attempt to keep himself relevant. This is the downfall of pride, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at who they are. Hollywood Vampires is an American rock supergroup formed in 2015 by Alice Cooper, Johnny Depp, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Depp is a Hollywood vampire, right? And Joe Perry, performing cover songs, check this out, performing cover songs to honor the music of the rock stars who died from excess in the 1970s. The band name derives from the Hollywood Vampires, a celebrity drinking club formed by Cooper in the 1970s, which include, but was not limited to, John Lennon and Ringo Starr of the Beatles, Keith Moon of The Who, and Mickey Dolenz, ladies and gentlemen, of the Monkees. I used to love the Monkees. Right? Touring members include so on and so forth. Right? Hollywood Vampires. Joe Perry, Johnny Depp, and Alice Cooper. Wow. I mean, just the name, right? If I was 16 years old again, that would be awesome. But for a better understanding, right, of who Alice Cooper chooses to surround himself with, let's go back in time and take a look at the original Hollywood Vampires. All right, let's start with Keith Moon. Right? We've got the classic one-eye symbolism. I'm going to show you a lot. This is going to be a good time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, The Who. All with the same pose. Look at that. Classic Freemasonic posing. And there they are standing on the Masonic black and white tiles. Right? The occult of Freemasonic duality. I find this one an interesting photograph. Not only do you have the finger on the chin, right? Another classic Freemasonic pose, but he has been placed strategically within a pyramid, right? It's amazing how they sell this stuff. And there's Keith Moon again, flashing the 666 hand sign. He doesn't seem to know why. Right? That is a clear sign of the influencers being controlled by the creators so they can influence us, right? That's how this system is set up to work. Now, Pete Townsend, remember in my previous video about Alice Cooper, I'll have that linked in the description box below, but I mentioned the X, the Illuminist / Masonic meaning of the X is simply this. It is the sign of Osiris, the great Egyptian sun god. Right? And here we have even more of the same thing. Right? Very clever again how they get the X across the chest. Right? Just like this man right here, Alice Cooper. Right? And where does all this Osiris worship come from? Right? Well, Aleister Crowley, of course. right? Once known as the wickedest man on the planet. Is it starting to make sense yet? Do you see it? It's the same thing. Serpent on his jacket. It's been there the whole time. His entire career. Now, let's move on to Ringo Starr. Right? Classic Freemasonic posing, then and now. Right? The glasses, that represents the 666 as well. Right? Now, the peace sign. This man is always flipping the peace sign. I challenge you, go look it up. Peace sign, peace sign, peace sign. Right? You think that this guy can save the world single-handedly. But let's look at the peace sign and Satanism and what it means. Right here, you can read this at your leisure, but you'll see the words Illuminati, right? Brotherhood of Satanism, Masonry, and witchcraft. This is their system. This is how they talk to each other. Now, look at what is hanging around his shirt. Again, the peace sign. Well, let's look at this for a moment. The broken cross, the cross of Nero, considered by some to be a peace sign, it is used in satanic circles as an open demonstration of rejecting Christ. Satan worshippers are commonly given crosses, instructed to turn the cross upside down and break the arms to show their disdain for Christ and loyalty to Satan. Right? Now, look at his shirt. His shirt says, "Peace rocks." Right? It's even on his belt buckle. But when you put the glasses on, and now that you know what it means, the shirt reads this: Satan rocks. Right? That is the hidden symbolism of this world, of their system. Right? And this is how the influencers control the sheep. Right? Who didn't enjoy the Beatles at one point in time, right? Now let's look at the star. Very quickly, I'll put this on the screen. You can pause, read this at your leisure. It's very interesting, but you'll notice in the middle, Aleister Crowley. Again, every man and every woman is a star from the Book of the Law, right? And here you can plainly see the pentagram, right? You can also read this at your leisure. It's very interesting. Now, something to understand about the star. This was used by witches. Witches is a trigger word, right? People are not witches. They can't be, right? People laugh at things like that. Illuminati, that's another trigger word. People laugh as soon as they hear it because it can't be real, right? But very briefly, a star was put on, for instance, a church, right? That would tell people, the witches, that they could go into that church and practice their craft, if you will, right? Unopposed, because a church is safe. Nobody else is really going to know what's going on there. You see the star every day. It is so commonly used. For instance, look at Captain America's shield, right? The pentagram. Turn it upside down, and you have this: do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, right? This is how they deceive, right? So the next Hollywood vampire on the list will go to John Lennon. The star, again. The peace sign, again. One-eye symbolism. There's the hand on the glasses again, right? Classic Freemasonic pose, right? The black and the white. There's Paul showing his allegiance, just like Keith Moon and John Lennon, flipping up the devil horns, right? This is what the influencers are told to do. And in turn, we think this stuff is cool, right? Until somebody points it out to you. Now, here's the hidden hand. We're going to get into the hidden hand as well, because look at this, right? Both Paul and John. The hidden hand, and you can look up the history of this, right? The sign of the master of the second veil, right? Part of the club. They're part of the brotherhood. Now, that leads into Mickey Dolenz, right? The Monkees. I used to love the Monkees. I watched that show all the time when I was a kid, right? Look at Mickey Dolenz. The hidden hand. And Woolcap. Do you remember Woolcap? How far back do you go with the Monkees? We'll just stick with Woolcap for the old school fans, right? It's got the hand on heart. Real quick. Hand on heart. You can read this at your leisure. It's very interesting. Sign of devotion to the chiefs. But now we have Davy and Peter doing the same thing, right? And now, relax, guys. Davy still doesn't look like he knows what's going on, but that's what the influencers are told to do. Right? Some one-eye symbolism real early on, and the peace sign, again, with the Masonic colors of duality, black and white. And there you have the original Hollywood vampires, surrounded by the occult, witchcraft, and Satanism. You can see it now, right? But let's jump to 2015 and introduce you to the current Hollywood vampires, and you'll see that nothing has changed. Right? Now again, look at my previous video about Alice Cooper, part 1. I'll have that linked below, right? And you'll understand his true role in all of this deception. Right? But right now, let's go to Joe Perry. Some classic Freemasonic symbolism. Right? This picture here, look at his hand. Right? We'll get a close-up. We've got the all-seeing eye. Right? Here's the hidden hand again. One more time with his good buddy Steven Tyler. We'll get into him in a moment. And the hidden hand yet again. So now Steven Tyler is very relevant here because he has performed with the Hollywood vampires. Right? And we'll show you that he does not care at all. Aerosmith. Right? He has no problem telling you what side he's on. He's pledging allegiance to his Lord and Master, and he really does not care. Right? And here we go again. There's that X, Osiris worship. Do you understand the repetition now? The more you see the same symbolism from different people, it starts to make sense, right? And again, Steve doesn't care. Look at a close-up of his face, though. Right? Look at those eyes. Right? That's part of that MK Ultra that's going on. Right? This man doesn't care. Pray for this man. I'm not even kidding. Pray for this entire group. Right? Then there's Johnny Depp kissing Steven Tyler. Johnny Depp likes to kiss people. Right? I'm not going to put the Jimmy Kimmel pictures in here. You can go look those up yourself. I'm going to stick with the Hollywood vampires, but Johnny Depp, out of all of the guitarists in the world, Alice Cooper picked Johnny Depp. I mean, it would probably be way too obvious if he picked Jimmy Page, right? But let's show you why he picked Johnny Depp. Is Johnny Depp flashing the 666? I've got a lot to go through, so Johnny Depp, man, Johnny Depp is another one who does not seem to care. One-eye symbolism, he's got this down. You've got the lightning bolt tattooed on his hand. The lightning bolt represents Satan's fall. He fell as a bolt of lightning. We'll get into David Bowie soon. There's some clever one-eye symbolism. You gotta love the photography sometimes, right? I used to be very interested in black and white photography. Now, here's the classic hand on the chin. He's definitely part of the Brotherhood here. He's got this down, look. He knows how to strike a pose, right? He's all about the Vogue. He's good at it. Got the old pyramid going right there. More of the same. Even Captain Jack is a Freemason. Look at that. Now, wouldn't it be cool if Johnny Depp actually dressed up like Captain Jack Sparrow and played with Alice Cooper one night? That would be cool, right? But it really wouldn't be. Hand on heart. See? He's got this down. Yeah. The Masonic black and white. And the Satanic red and black. Classic. And look at his little pin there on his collar. He's got the same tattoo on his arm. It's a serpent. There he goes with the glasses again. Get that 666 going. With his bandmate, Joe Perry. Oh, Captain Jack. He just snuck in there with the old 666, right? The guy's everywhere. More Freemasonic posing, black and white, right? The peace sign. And the rose. Again, look back at the previous video about Alice Cooper and you'll understand the illumination of the rose. Right? Ah, there we go. The Osiris worship. And that's what this is all about. This is why Alice Cooper picked Johnny Depp. They both worship the same thing. A fallen angel. A god with a lowercase g. But the first rule about Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club, right? Now, this one is disturbing, and let me tell you why. I am not going to be surprised, me personally, and this is a personal opinion, right? When Johnny Depp departs, right? I won't be surprised if it is because of a wound, possibly to his head, right? It's interesting how he is holding his hand there while doing the Code of Silence. And then add this picture to it, and you just have to wonder, what is to come for Johnny Depp? But that's neither here nor there. Now, we have to get into Marilyn Manson. Have you ever watched this video? This video is wrong on so many levels. So many levels. This is a video called Say 10, right? Satan. Oh, it's so clever. I don't know what's going on with Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson. And again, Johnny Depp likes to kiss people. And hey, right? Some people like to hug. Some people like to bowl. Johnny Depp likes to kiss. Right? Don't really want to know what's going on here, but I found this interesting. Apparently, this is a book, and I might read this. Johnny Depp, vampire, Satanist, or Illuminati? Now here's some more kissing. Right? There he is, down on one knee, some provocative posing. It's starting to get creepy, right? But Marilyn Manson has performed with Hollywood vampires, and he's going through a lot in his personal life right now, right? He's got some allegations against him, Marilyn Manson does. I guess some women came out about abuse. I almost want to do a video on that itself because, face it, ladies and gentlemen, it's all scripted, right? It's all scripted. Corey Feldman apparently came out against him. I mean, if you look for the signs and the symbols, go look up Corey Feldman. They're all there, right? None of this is any different. All of these guys, they're all in the same group. And Alice Cooper absolutely loves it. Look at the big smile on his face. Johnny's into it. Marilyn Manson doing the Code of Silence. These are good buddies, right? This Christian man and this Satanist. Marilyn Manson is a self-proclaimed Satanist. You don't even have to do a video exposing this guy. He's already done it himself, right? Jesus thinks this is cool, right? Because Alice tells you, this is all good. I'm a Christian. This is cool with Jesus, so it's good for you too, right? And here they are. Apparently they toured in 2013 together, right? The Masters of Madness. That sounds cool. Got the pyramid right in the middle. Right? I'm sure this made a lot of money. But look at this. There's that peace sign again. Here's this nice Christian man standing next to the Satanist. Now, when I was searching for more information, right, I found this. And I had to take this picture on my computer because my phone wasn't processing this particular site correctly. So you can see in the back it says satanic hand signs, right? The symbolism is right there to the left. The two-fingered salute, right? Or the V sign represents the 33rd degree Freemason, right? The highest level attainable in Freemasonry. The finger bends at 3 joints, so 2 fingers extended symbolizes 33. Find this pin and more on False Prophets, Antichrist, and Pagan Religions by Janet Floyd. And there you go. The truth in plain sight. And this is really getting weird because now we have Marilyn Manson down on one knee, kissing the hand of the worshipful master. Again, go back to the previous video about Alice Cooper, and you'll understand the meaning of the top hat linked to worshipful master. This is why Marilyn Manson is on one knee, kissing the hand of the worshipful master, because he knows his place. Alice Cooper is much higher on the pyramid than Marilyn Manson will ever hope to be. And you thought rock and roll was all harmless fun and games. And speaking of which, let's take a look at David Bowie, because the Hollywood Vampires cover one of his songs called Heroes on their second album called Rise. But while we're talking about the albums themselves, let's take a moment to actually look at the Hollywood Vampires album cover. Right? Hollywood is 33 in reverse full reduction. What are vampires? Vampires are shapeshifters. What are shapeshifters? Shapeshifters are fallen angels, right? Pushed by Hollywood for time immemorial, over and over again, right? Now, put the glasses on, and you'll see that what this album really says is 33% of the angels that follow Satan. That's what this album is about. That's the representation. It's about the fallen angels. Their second album, which is the one I'm going to talk about with David Bowie momentarily, is called Rise. Rise happens to be 33 in single reduction. Right there, with Rise and Hollywood, you have the occult of Masonic duality, right? Not to mention, Orange is 33 in full reduction. So with this album, you have 33 three times. 3 is a mockery of Jesus. Not only that, but 33 times 3 is 99, right? Now, 99, when broken down, equals 9. Using the satanic law of reversal, you flip those 9s, and it becomes 6, 6, 6. This man is surrounded by the number 33 and 666. Right? So put the glasses on one more time. Look at this album, and you'll see that it simply says, Fallen Angels Rise. Right? Now, let's get back to David Bowie, because this is very relevant. Now, I watched the video for Heroes, and I was looking for the classic signs and the symbols, and sure enough, we have this picture from the video. Right? They had to make sure that of all the pictures, you had this one, the Code of Silence, and look at how his fingers are pressed, right? The devil horns. It's a great combination. It's a fantastic picture as far as photography goes, because this is how the influencers are created. Not only that, I watched a live performance of this, and sure enough, on stage, not only do they flash up more Freemasonic imagery, they also flash that picture, right? The devil horns and the Code of Silence, right? Letting everybody know that they're all part of the same club. David Bowie, clearly, don't talk about Fight Club. There he's doing the double sixes, Freemasonic posing, the lightning bolt, which represents Satan, his fall. And that is clever photography. Right? It's not bad with the one-eye symbolism and the lightning bolt. And, wow, there it is again. That X right across the chest. More Osiris worship. Orange being 33. Black and white clothing. All because of Aleister Crowley. Do you see the connection? And here's a quote from David Bowie himself, right? Rock has always been the devil's music. I believe that rock and roll is dangerous. I feel that we're only heralding something even darker than ourselves. Right? There's the truth in plain sight, ladies and gentlemen. Since we're putting the glasses on and we're comparing some things, let's compare this. Right? This picture of Alice Cooper looks strangely similar to this picture of Aleister Crowley. This picture of Alice Cooper, right? Do you see the star? Really look at it for a minute. Do you see how the lighting in the background makes a star and he's standing right in the middle of it? Right? Now, he loves to throw his arms out. I mentioned this in the previous video. Right? Throwing your arms out like that, that's a mockery of Jesus on the cross. Right? Strangely, though, it looks just like this picture again of Aleister Crowley. Right? The music industry worships this man. You can look this up. It's been well documented. Right? Now, again, this picture and this picture and this picture of Alice Cooper strangely looks very similar to this picture of Aleister Crowley. And there he is, Aleister Crowley, the Beast, right? Part of the Brotherhood, hand on heart, and that Masonic top hat, the worshipful master. That's who these people are trying to emulate. Worshipful master. Well, there they are, ladies and gentlemen. the Hollywood vampires. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works.